Hey guys, Mr. Kylie here from Shows America, Team Noir. Today is April 20th. It is a Monday. This is going to be your Junior Adult and Little Dragon Black Belt Trainer Psi class. Okay, we're going to get going and hopefully get most of the junior version of the Psi form down. The entire Dragon version of the Psi form is done at this point, but we still need to make that. Doesn't mean we're done working. We still need to make sure we go back and double check and start to get better at the actual form itself. So that's kind of anytime you're learning a kata or a form, same thing. Okay, that's the normal process. How you should feel is you try to get all the movements down, and once you feel like you have all the movements down from start to finish, then you go back and make sure that each individual move that you're doing in the form is the best you can make it. The stance is the best you can make it. Okay, your intensity is high, your focus is high, your stances are very strong. All the little things in the form get stronger. So again, sometimes when we're learning a form, once we have finished it and get to the very end and we can do it all by ourselves from start to finish, we feel like our job is done and we're done working on it. And really, it's just starting. Okay, getting a form learned from start to finish, beginning to end. Okay, that's when now you start working on that form. Okay, you start working on sharpening up the intensity, sharpening up the focus and the stances while doing all the movements correctly and trying to get all the little things right. Okay, so again, we're not done learning a form. We are just beginning. Okay, once we finish from start to finish of the form. So beginner belts, hopefully we are just beginning. Okay, your form, because we should be doing the last part of it today. While dragons, you have learned the entire part of your form. When we get to the end of your dragon part of your form, again, if you want to keep going with the junior adult beginners and start learning some of their form, you're more than welcome to do that, especially because at some point in time, potentially by the time we do Psi next year, you may be in the junior class. You may have red, white, and blued, or got your little dragon black belt and now be a junior adult. And so you may need to learn this form now for next time. Okay, so no worries, feet together, bow. Start by opening your hand, closing your hand. Go ahead, working on your Psi flip. You're still working on it. Again, you take and you lift it, and then you point it, fold it, flip it down. Good, lift it, point it, fold it, flip it down. And the more confident you get in your movement of your Psi, okay, the more I want you to try to flip the Psi out. Instead of you bringing your hand around it, I want you to start moving the Psi around your hand. So we have the outward flip like this, okay, which again, all you do is you take and pinch it, good. It's in like this in defensive position. I bend my elbow, and as I push my hand out, I keep my hand like this and just point my fingers, gripping really tight squeeze with that webbing, and it goes like that. You see it flip outwards, and then I just grab my hand around it. And to get it back where it came from, go ahead and take it and I fold it back in like this. So the beginning of the form, that first combination is that, remember, it's that punch, good, and then the fan block, strike, and then down block. So that very first front row, the same thing 3 times. Good, down block. Good, and then you have that punch, right? And then the dragons, you work on that step back and the fold down. And we have this part. We're gonna go into detail on this in a second. Good, we're working on that part of the form. And the dragons, of course, will end up with that drop down punch, okay? So we'll get there and we'll sharpen all that up. Okay, so we have good. So now let's work that combo. Punch, fan, strike, down block, other hand, punch, fan, strike, down block, back to your right hand, punch. And little things you'll start to learn as I pull it over to this side. See how my hand hasn't moved yet? You'll actually flip it at the same time. So you go ahead and go from 1 to 2 at the same time you're pulling the side back. That takes a lot less time to do it, makes it faster. Strike and down block. And a down block, of course, is normally over and then down, so you'll start to tie those moves together. Once I go strike, as you fold it back in, you're already starting your down block. So now you're starting to blend these moves together and make it very fluid. Now also understand, I've had a lot more time to work with this side than you guys. So if these moves aren't looking like that when you try them, that's okay. I'm just trying to show you where they're going to end up and what your next step is once you've learned what we're already doing. I'm not expecting me to show you this move one time and then you automatically do it. Okay, now if you can, that's awesome. If not, that's okay. Your job isn't to see it and then repeat it right back to me. It's to see it and then start to work on it and eventually get it after enough time practiced. Okay, all right, so feet together, bow. Let's start with your form. Bring it up, step out, pull down. Very good, make sure, remember, show me. Which one do you show me, do you remember? Very good. Good, show, and then punch, fan, strike, down block, step, punch, fan, strike, down block, step, punch, fan, strike, down block, punch, left, punch, right. Good, open up both hands, step back. Good, and then from here, step forward, double down block, drop down to the ground, just the dragons. Left knee goes down, punch with the left hand, punch with the right hand, okay? And then in juniors, of course, now this is where you gotta stay with me because your form starts to go in different directions. It gets exciting. Okay, so juniors, you have your right foot in the front, you punch left, punch right, and now we're gonna do that same combo with the three sides, going this way to the left. So from here, you're gonna turn into Fugel stance, high block with your left hand. Step out to Chungle stance. I don't even see my feet, but I'm in this Fugel. I'm on one foot basically, very light on my left. I have my hand over my head, and when I step over, I pull it down, okay? Now you're gonna do that combination 3 times advancing. So you're gonna step forward with the right side, punch, fan in the Fugel. Good, strike, down block, all in that strong Chungle stance. Then you step forward, punch, fan, strike, down block. One more time on the right side. Good. Punch, fan, strike, down block, punch left, punch right. Punch, punch. Okay, now the third part of this form is those same 3 combinations. Left side, left side, but you're gonna turn to the left. Okay, so the easiest way to do this step, okay, from here, okay, you're gonna take and turn towards the back wall. Turn away from the camera, take your left foot, step back with it. Okay, step towards the camera. Now take your feet, turn into the side. It's now you're going this way. So again, if this is the front of the room, good. If this is where the camera is, where I'm pointing, then I want you to go to the right. Good. Take your left hand over your head, pull down. Step forward, punch, fan, strike, down block. Step, punch, fan, strike, down block. Step, punch, fan, strike, down block, punch left, punch right. Okay, now I'm gonna show you this last part of the form. You're just gonna watch it, okay? Because it's gonna be coming right at you. It goes to the back of the room. So I'm not mirroring you in this section. I'm actually going backwards to the back of the room. Then we're gonna break it down and go over how to do it with you, okay? So I just did the punch, punch. You go like this, fold it away, punch, strike, down block. There's a lot going on there. So let me show you one more time. And then again, we'll break it down and learn it. So it's punch left, punch right. I take the left one out. And again, the left one is drawing a circle around my head this way to build power. As it does that, I turn my body to the left, around the back, and I strike. What you're actually doing, this part's kind of cool, you're taking the side as if someone was attacking you, you're taking the side and you're throwing it, and you're letting go of it, and it's going into their foot. It's a little graphic, I'm sorry, but that's the honest truth of what we're doing. So you're throwing it and you're letting it go. Don't actually let your side go. As you can see, after I go here, I hide it to my chest. This is representing the side is gone. I only have one side. Go ahead, and from here, I step forward and I punch in a Chungle stance. And then I take the side. It's the same wrapping movement. Good, but I'm gonna take and slide my foot underneath me as I wrap and strike. And then I step forward in that same stance and do a down block. That part's really complicated, so that's gonna take some time for us to get to, okay? Let's do as much of the form as we've learned. Let's get to that ending part, and then we'll break that down. All right, so go back to here, please. And bow. Present up. Step out, pull down. Okay, ready? And pull. Show me the left one. Position the right one by your hip. Punch. Good. Fan. Strike out. Down block. Strong. Check those stances. Step, punch. You're in Chungle stance. Your body's going forward. Try not to be this way. Try to have your feet on separate lines like railroad tracks. Punch. Slide. Fan. Strike. Down block. Step with the right foot. Punch. Fan. Strike. Down block. Punch left. Punch right. Open up both. Step back. Good. That rainbow down on top of your legs as you sink into a Kimai stance. I'm going to hop a little closer so you can see the next move. This is where you make that reinforced X block. Take your foot and move it over. Don't put it behind you. Just scoot it closer over to the side. Put it up. Very good. Put them right here. Take your back foot. Take your right foot. Step forward closer to me. As you step towards me, double strike to the front. You're hitting them there's these bones right here called your collarbones, your clavicle. Go ahead and if you hit them, boom, okay, and it makes sure they can't use their arm very well. So it's a strike, and then double down block. I'm gonna back up so you can see the next part. Drop down to your knee. You don't advance, you just drop straight down, punching with that left hand, punching with your right hand, okay? That's where the dragon stops. So dragons at this point, you can just stay frozen like an ice cube while we do the junior part, or a good challenge for you guys would be while we're doing that, try your form by yourself. So don't kind of pay close attention to me yet. I'll get us back into attention. While we're doing the junior form, either do the junior form with us or do your dragon form all by yourself and see how well you can remember it without us walking through it together, all right? Juniors, again, you are here. Juniors, punch left, punch right. Your right leg stays where it is. Your left foot just slides on over into Fugel stance. We do a high block with that left hand, and then again, we're pulling this one down. Again, what we're doing is if something comes down, you're blocking it, and then hooking it down, taking it away. You're disarming somebody's weapon. Good, so if they throw a sword down, or a side down, or a bow staff, you catch it on the mono G, and then I pull it down to get it to the side so I can then step forward and punch them, all right? So I block, step out and pull it down. My right foot steps forward, punch them. Good, I quickly slide back to fan block, strike out, down block. Step of the left foot, same thing, punch, fan, strike, down block, step at the right side, punch, fan, strike, down block, punch left, punch right. I'm going to show you this turn a little bit faster and more explosive, and then we'll go back and break it down. So again, that turn going to the left is just here. That's all we're doing, okay? So what that is broken down, okay, I take my feet, and that's the trick, is your left foot is going to end up in the front. It's going to end up going where you're going. Okay, so I simply take and I lift up my foot, and as I lift up my foot, I turn to the left. That's the trick to all the turns we do in every form you're going to learn. Whichever foot you lift up, that's the direction you're going to turn. Okay, so if I lift up my left foot, that means I'm going to turn to the left. You will never lift up your left foot and then turn this way. That just throws your body off and makes it more complicated. So again, that's going to hopefully help you guys figure out these turns a little bit easier. I pick up my left foot, whichever one lifts up, I turn that direction. So I pick it up, I turn, I put it back down in the front. So I'm going this way, good, with my left foot in the front. High block, pull it down with the left hand. Again, whatever foot's in front, that's called the action side. Okay, that means whatever foot's in front, that hand is the one doing the motion. That's how you can hopefully help remember which hand does what and which foot does what. Okay, they go together. Whichever foot's in the front is your action side. So that hand then does the block. Okay, step forward, right side forward, right foot's in the front, punch, fan, strike, down block, step forward, punch, fan, strike, down block. If I'm not leaving the camera, step forward one more time, punch, fan, strike, down block, punch left, punch right. Okay, so for this part, okay, this is that ending part, this is how we're gonna learn it, okay? Because the form, technically, we do it to the back wall, okay? So just kind of reverse a little bit. When we started this form, okay, you went straight forward. If you started the form here, the form goes straight forward, right? And then the next part goes to the left, and the next part goes to the right, and so the last part goes to the back. So it kind of makes that full T, that full cross, going in all four directions. But I also understand it's really hard if we're learning this part going to the back of the room. Okay, it's hard to have your back to me looking over your shoulder while doing all these movements, right? So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna learn these movements, okay, but we're gonna learn them going this way, just like we started the form, right? Okay, so you're gonna learn them going towards the camera, and then when we get to that part, I'll show you how to flip it around and then put them in, okay? So let's learn the individual movements of this line first, then we'll worry about putting it actually in the form, okay? All right, so what we do, okay, this part starts, we have to do my bearings, good. For right now, okay, just go like this. Put your right foot in the front, going this way. Okay, going to your left. Right foot's in the front. You just did punch left, punch right, right? Open up your left hand, okay? Now you're gonna turn all the way around. You're gonna go all the way around towards, okay, the front of the room. So I turn, and I put my left foot in the front. So you're actually in Fugel stance, okay? Take your left hand, you're gonna draw a circle around behind you, good, and then strike down, almost like a down block, but it's here. Good, so it's down, and then take it, fold it, and put it away. Now from here, you're gonna step forward with your right foot, your back foot, and do a punch, just like in normal combo, okay? Now from there, you're gonna flip it to here. You're gonna take your back foot, you're gonna turn it, and I want you to slide it underneath you. So you're basically standing on your left foot. Your right foot's just barely there, okay? Your right hand now goes around and then strikes outwards like this. And from there, you're gonna shuffle forward, keeping this right foot in the front, and then do a down block. Okay, let me get closer to the camera so we can see what's going on. So now we're just reset that all, right? We're gonna start this way. Good, it's that last portion of the form. So you open it up, good. You turn to the left, you're in Fugel stance. Throw it down, hide it away, step with the right foot, punt, and then shuffle it underneath you, circle, strike, shuffle forward, down block, okay? I'll put a lot of practice in this part, make sure that the next time we do this, I can mirror you while we do it so you can kind of see what's going on better. But again, that's just seeing the ending of the form. It's helpful to know that. We also have like a month and a half to learn that, so it's completely okay if you don't learn it right now. All right, so let's start the form over. Try to add that part in a little bit, good, but take our time while we do it, okay? Bow. Fan up, step out, pull down. Yeah! Good, show me that left one. Okay, this time I'm just gonna stay slow and low and quiet. You're just stay with me doing the form. So I'm not gonna say the moves I'm doing, I'm just gonna do them. You stay in the zone, stay focused, and just follow me and we'll do it together. Ready? Yeah. Good. That was the dragon version. So now juniors, you're gonna do your finishers off. Going to this side, going to this side. Ready? To the left, to the back shoulder. Lift that foot up, put it down. Again, normally, this is where we turn and go away from the camera. I'm gonna try to do this part to where we're just going towards the camera so you can see this combination better. Okay, so you go, let's just go this way for right now. Go to the left, go right foot to the front, punch left, punch right. Okay, the biggest thing to get right now, honestly, isn't even the side part, it's all the little footwork parts, okay? Because again, watch here my feet. I'm gonna take and lift up that back foot, which means what? We're gonna spin that way. Whichever foot you lift, that's the way you spin. Okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna lift, you're actually gonna go, you're gonna end up facing towards the camera. Okay, but instead of me going this way, I'm gonna go all the way around. Okay, so I will turn. One big, if you can get there in one step, that's also good. Or you just go here, just like that. It's a big, your left foot, it's kind of tricky. Your left foot has to go behind your right. Okay, this is another way to practice that spin. That can be a little bit difficult at first, okay, but once you get it, we'll make the spin a lot easier. Watch my feet very close. Good. Okay, from here, it really helps if there's some sort of line you can find. Like for me, I use this line right here that the mats are on. Okay, and then from here, I put my right foot on that line. My left foot is gonna go on the same line. Good, so I'm basically tightroping. I go like this. Good. On that line, I'm all holding my balance. Then I continue spinning until this foot goes this way and this foot goes forward. If you remember the bow form, okay, if this is not your first side or not your first rotation, and you remember the bow form, okay, when we did the form with the bow, we went forwards, we went backwards for the junior level beginners, and then from there we had that part where after we did kick, down block, and then you spun, and did that. If you remember that movement, this is the same exact movement. Okay? So I don't know if I can real fast, I can show you just so you can see it. I'm kind of improvising here. I hope I'm not confusing anyone because that's the opposite of what I'm trying to do. Okay, so again, think about the bow form, right? When we did the down block, the high block, the down block, high block kick, and we set it in the front like this, and then we did the same thing towards the back, and then we turned and did these moves, right? Okay, it's that same spin. It's this one. Here, okay? Hopefully that helps. If not, I'm sorry. Trying to make it less complicated, but it's a tricky part to learn. So again, find that line, tightrope, spin to the left. Your left hand goes the other way. It goes around, say you're coughing into your elbow, around, without hitting yourself, to build power. Strike it down, hide it to your chest. Step with your right foot, punch with your right hand, open up your right hand, flip it to offense, turn, slide it underneath yourself. That same motion from the front, go around the back, strike it forwards. Good. Shuffle your body forwards, fold it, back to that defense, down block. And that's actually the whole entire form. Okay, so juniors, you technically learned your entire form. Dragons, you definitely learned your entire form. Now you're trying to strengthen up how to do these, the flips, how to do the combinations, making sure your stances are great. The last couple minutes, of course, I want to finish with working on doing that. So dragons, this is probably like priority number one at this point. If you have the strikes, you have the combinations, you have the stances, you can put them all in the same order. Make sure this part looks good. Okay, and again, then from there, the goal is to make sure you can do it without looking at it. So I'm keeping eyes on you. Good. Oop. There it goes. Okay, that's the next part of the challenge, because when doing it, you have to get it without taking your eyes off of where you're going. It just makes it look that more impressive. That part's not mandatory. You can look at it if you need to. But if you already have that, I'm trying to show you that there's a next challenge. Anytime you learn something, instead of going, all right, I did it, and just checking the box, there's always a next challenge, okay, to help keep you improving. If you don't know what that challenge is, then ask or put it in the comments. Like, hey, we have this, what's the next thing we can work on? And I promise I will get something for you to work on. Good. You can do a pass-through. There's a lot of really fun stuff with Sai you guys can learn too. We haven't even gotten to the side tricks. There's not that many, there's a couple, and we'll get to those later. Good. So we have this part right here is what we're working on. Where you do that, of course, one is flat, one is up and down. Good, and I want to lay it. Very good, and then from here, as this one comes over, I fold this one up, make a touch, push it down. Good, fold this, the one that's in your hand, push it away from you, and then wrap it back up. You have to keep constant tension. Good, is what I need. So I need 1, 2. I want to make sure one is pushing, one is, doesn't matter which one. Okay, one is pushing, one is pulling. So there's what we're looking for. Good. Another really quirky way to practice it, you have it up like a field goal, you put it in on the opposite side, run it forward, pull and push, and then widen them out a little bit. That part will take time. If those aren't working for you, I can try it a different way. Not a problem. Good. Just like that. Very good. So practice your strikes, your combinations, practice the stances in your form, practice as much form as you can by yourself, practice your X. So a lot of things to practice. Good. If you have all that, I can give you more things. Okay, but again, if at this point it's okay if when you practice the form all by yourself, you don't get it all by yourself yet. Okay, because right now we're still working it together. You're still double checking yourself with what I'm doing up front, which is fine. We're learning it. Okay. But once you start to get where you can do the whole form by yourself, then the form and the learning of the form really starts, because then we start to sharpen up all the little bits and pieces of the form that make it great. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you for your time. Dragons, that will do. Junior beginners, you have your class coming up next. Feet together, bow, side 5, you are dismissed.